27 and is just 3 lanes wide. An average of 4,000 commercial trucks use it each and every day, not to mention the cars. And you can see the result on the bridge behind me. Heavy traffic, high wait times at the border, not to mention the pollution of the surrounding area from all of those vehicles. For the past 10 years, U.S. and Canadian officials have been looking at the possibility of building a new bridge over the Niagara River, but earlier this year, federal funding and political support dried up. So now the PeaceBridge Authority is going ahead with a plan of its own to build a new customs plaza at the beginning of the bridge to try to ease congestion over the bridge. I spoke with Buffalo Mayor Byron Brown earlier today about his frustrations over the project and whether or not this is enough for Western New York. You've been outspoken on this issue, and I know the public in general seems to want change at the PeaceBridge. What have you seen as far as progress over your term in office so far?
Well, I have to honestly say there has not been a great deal of progress. There's been a lot of different iterations of plans and issues that have arisen. I have been a long-time supporter of moving the bridge project forward, first as a former member of the New York State Senate, and then as mayor of the city of Buffalo. I have advocated that the PeaceBridge project move forward, but always making sure that health and safety concerns, environmental concerns were observed, wanting to see the number of takings of properties reduced, and having the voice of the people that live in that neighborhood heard. With all that being said, though, we are now being told that the project is going to be significantly downscaled, that the plaza construction is going to be smaller than originally anticipated, which I think is a good thing. I have long advocated for a smaller plaza construction, smaller plaza design that did not require as much taking of private citizen property and land. So hopefully this will be a positive development, but the most important thing is to move the development forward, and I'm hoping now that the thinking on the PeaceBridge has been redefined, that the project will move forward and something will get done.
With this plaza project, they're not going to build a new span, and I know that there's a lot of people that want a completely new bridge built. I know that the state auditors in 2010 found the bridge to be deficient. I know that you think this is a step in the right direction, but do you think more needs to be done as far as looking at a whole new PeaceBridge?
Well, I have long said that I think it takes too long to get projects done in this community. We've been talking about a new span for the PeaceBridge for over 20 years in this community. I was almost a little boy 20 years ago, so I think it's taken much too long. I think they have to define what they're going to do. I think this redefinition is good. I think focusing on the plaza is important because we have to continue to move people and goods across the bridge efficiently, and having an efficient plaza that makes it easier to get back and forth between the United States and Canada is critically important. Canada is our most important trading partner. So I'm very pleased by that, and I'm also pleased by the fact that the design of the plaza has been changed, that the plaza will be smaller. It will not require the number of takings of property that was originally proposed, and it will keep a neighborhood that is a historic neighborhood more intact.
You talked about the slowness of progress. I know that this is not only a state issue, but a federal issue, and because the Canadians have to agree, an international issue. How frustrating is that with how much this project can affect the city of Buffalo to have so many, bureaucratic red tape?
It can be frustrating, as you indicated. Federal issues come into play, environmental issues come into play, state issues, international issues, dealing with the Canadian government. There are a lot of layers that this thing has to go through. Now all we're talking about is a plaza redesign. I don't see why that can't move forward more quickly and why it can't be done in a way that speeds the transport of people and goods across the bridge, I think, which will be good for both sides of the border, you know, in Buffalo and in Fort Erie, both for the United States and Canada. This is an important bridge crossing between Canada and the United States, and I think it's important that we stop losing ground to other bridge crossings that people are now utilizing because the crossing here is not as efficient as it could be.
Finally, I know that they said in 12 months they're hoping to have construction started on that new plaza, 3 years to completion. If we talk to you a year from now, where do you hope the project's at, and what do you think progress will have been made?
Well, a year from now, I hope that we are on schedule or ahead of schedule, that it can be clearly confirmed that in 3 years the new plaza design is going to be complete, that more trucks, that more cars, that more goods will be able to move back and forth between Canada and the United States, and that we will see a boost in the economy of Buffalo because our bridge crossing becomes much more efficient.
Ultimately, do you still hope to see a new bridge in place of the Peace Bridge?
You know, that certainly is an issue that is well beyond my control. I thought it made sense to build a new bridge for a variety of different reasons, because of the condition of the existing bridge, because of the need to move goods and people more quickly, and because it would literally put thousands of people to work in this community. I thought that was an important project, but one, because of all of the layers of government review that it goes through, is one that is well above what I can control as mayor of the city of Buffalo.
Western New York Congressman Brian Higgins has long been a supporter for change at the border crossing. He says while this project is a step in the right direction, he still thinks it's necessary to build a new bridge. The Peace Bridge Authority plans to begin construction on the new Customs Plaza sometime in the next 12 months, with completion in about 3 years. Reporting in Buffalo, Doug Sampson for Capitol Tonight.